On the Health Watch tonight, it sure does seem to be one of the big trends of the year.
Yeah, eating foods labeled as gluten-free. But as Dr. Mallika Marshall explains, most of us don't really need to buy into the craze, right, Mallika?
That's right. You got it. You know, everywhere you look, in grocery stores, online, on restaurant menus, there are more and more gluten-free offerings. Great news for the 3 million Americans who suffer from celiac disease. But do the rest of us need to follow suit? I spoke to a local doctor who is the nation's gluten guru of sorts, and he says no.
I was having a wide variety of symptoms for a very long time.
For more than 2 decades, 45-year-old Sharon Jeldon was constantly sick. Stomach aches, joint pains, chronic fatigue, and she was anemic. 3 years ago, Jeldon was finally diagnosed with celiac disease. Within 2 weeks of starting a strict gluten-free diet, all of her symptoms went away.
I felt like I had a body transplant, like I had a new body.
Because the gluten-free diet for celiac is like insulin for diabetics.
Dr. Alessio Fasano is a world-renowned celiac expert at Mass General Hospital and author of the new book, Gluten Freedom. He says with celiac disease, a person's immune system attacks a protein called gluten, found in many grains like wheat, barley, and rye, and that can lead to widespread inflammation.
If you have celiac disease and you don't go on a gluten-free diet, you die slowly. But you die.
Fortunately, for patients like Sheldon, there are now tons of gluten-free products available on store shelves. And now many people who don't have a gluten issue are buying these products instead of the real thing. Dr. Fasano says at some point in their lives, 100 million Americans will choose to go gluten-free, and that it's turned into a multi-billion-dollar business.
And if you ask yourself, who are these people and why they go on a gluten-free diet? Well, the interesting answer is, the vast majority, they don't have business to go on a gluten-free diet.
Gluten-free products aren't healthier and aren't necessarily going to help you lose weight. They're often enriched with more sugar and fats to make them palatable. Dr. Fasano went gluten-free for Lent this year and says it wasn't a pleasant experience.
It is socially isolating. It is technically difficult.
And though Jeldon is thrilled to have more dietary options at the grocery store, she wouldn't choose to eat this way if she didn't have to.
If I didn't have to live gluten-free, I would have no idea why I would want to spend a lot more money for the food that is not nutritionally better for you. It's harder to find, and I think it tastes worse.
Well, Dr. Fasano says if you think you might have celiac disease or a problem with gluten, don't eliminate it on your own. First of all, the test for celiac may not work if you take gluten out of your diet before being tested, and it's much safer to do it under the supervision of a doctor or nutritionist. And he says, look, if you want to eliminate gluten and you want to eat fruits and vegetables and lean meats, of course you're going to lose weight and that's going to be healthier. But you don't want to substitute things with other products that have a lot of sugar and fat in them.
But it has become all the rage.
It has. I mean, all kinds of people are buying it and don't necessarily need to do so.
Yeah, it's good to know. All right. Got to be careful. All right,
Thanks,
Dr. Mallika Marshall, thank you. And send your story ideas to Mallika. You can email her at drmallika@cbs.com or tweet her at Mallika Marshall.